Okay, I think that did it. I'm not sure what happened with the other stream, but we are now live showing the game. Once again, I am DreadedEntity. Hello and welcome back. Let me pause my little tiny copy. Joining me today is Tie-Dye Dragon. Hey, Tie-Dye. Oh, and look, there he is right there, too. So, what are we going to do tonight?
Well, should we pick a direction that we're going to start facing the Dazzlers in? And we still need to widen those troughs. Did we start on that last week? I don't think we did.
I don't think we need to widen them, but something that we had to do was we had to, like, fix them a little bit.
Oh, yeah, and we're going to have to fill in where all the crystal veins were. So we're going to have to work on them for a little bit anyway.
Okay. Let's do it. Hey, Rohan. How you doing today? This morning for you.
See, Dread, are you good on paste?
Let's see. I have 36,000. 37,000 actually. I think I'm good on paste. This ought to be fun. I hope so. Alright, how we doing on boosters? Okay, boosters are still good. Feel free to take some of these boosters. I didn't just put them there for me.
You know, I used a few.
Ooh, you're working. Nice. Well, just don't get distracted by me.
Alright, I should be set on pace now, too. For a bit. And if you look at the teleporter, you'll notice that the chromium teleporter is active on load. It is loaded now.
Oh, nice. Did you put a laser down there or something?
It took a few.
I bet.
And you know, to power the teleporter, it took good lasers.
Whoa, what happened to the bottom of the trough here?
Oh yeah, that's where the excavators dug out.
Oh, okay. Like the bottom of this trough is like...
Yep, it matched up with the ceiling, but not the floor. It dug one into the floor.
Oops. Hey, Napoleon. Good to see you. Gotta fix my trough.
I'll be down in a moment. I'm just gonna upgrade some drill motors.
Bet some of the vein spaces would be good positions for assembly lines. What vein spaces? The big problem is that I don't want to, obviously don't want to redo all of the, all of the assembly stuff that we've got ready already. That is not something that I want to do.
Well, we can just set up some lifts and send down important components.
Yeah.
Or we could just start redirecting all the bars, and then we can use those to fabricate the intermediates for the further, like the next tiers, if we need. It's like if we don't want to be waiting on a lift to bring down something as simple as copper wire, we can just send some copper down to just a few.
Well, yeah,
Sure.
we could do that. I want to avoid it if we can, but yeah.
Well, we do have the teleporter networks. We might as well be using it.
Yeah,
We could run from
I
home to
agree.
the surface.
Might as well use them since we got them.
And the power is mostly free in solar. And renewable resin farm.
Oh, of course. So, do we have to fix all of these, or are only like a few of them affected?
I figure we could just do the cardinal directions and then try and make a wall segment or whatever
Right,
off to
right.
the corners. And since we can pass lasers through glass, we might as well be covering the lasers with glass so that cryo won't block them.
Yeah, that's a good idea too.
Adrian.
Tadrin, hey.
I'm probably too quiet.
That is Tadrin, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you're pretty quiet.
Headset. Although maybe for my birthday today, I'll.
We needed to widen this by what, 3 blocks? Oh, crap. Oh.
Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
3
I
blocks, I think
think
Ty said.
3 would do it.
So I'm already working on one trench over here.
I just built 2 more antimatter drill motors.
That's too low.
I took the time to write down all the ingredients I needed for one, and boy, does that help.
The good thing is we don't have to do this trench all the way down. I think. This is all it really needs to be, just to catch any cryo.
I am now officially out of all junk.
Hey, there you go.
I no longer have any rough-hewn stone, bedrock, or any of.
Finally got clean, huh?
Yeah.
Oh man, I got rid of all that stuff a long time ago.
I have to admit my inventory's been looking pretty clear lately too.
I agree with you there, Napoleon. This is a clear and definite pain to make.
I would just feed my addiction to taste by grabbing blocks.
See, I traded junk food for energy drinks. I should probably go pick up some boosters.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and I'm not like super crazy. It's not like I'm drinking cans of Spike anymore. Just drinking Monster Rehab, half tea, half energy. I find those are way more tame.
I like the white ones.
Sugar free.
There's,
Let's see.
I mean, well, they say 0 calories on them. That's what I liked about it.
Like the peach tea energy, it says 25 calories, and there's only 7 grams of sugars. Well, 4 with 3 added sugar grams. So.
Okay, I think this trench is done. Do one of you guys want to come and inspect it? I guess you don't know which way I went.
Let's see. Do you know where I had the miner on that big crystal vein? That's pretty much gone now. Wiped out.
I need to reload the game.
Let's see.
Hey, you found me.
Oh, this is the one you're on. Oh, I was just gonna say I found a hole.
Yeah, I'm filling them in as I find them. I was most important with getting the trench fixed.
Oh, there you are. All of a sudden, there's a big green flash and you appear. Yep.
Same way I do it in real life.
Green flash?
Mm-hmm. And then I'm there. And then, once you can see my form, then I'm just like, sup?
I guess I apparently accidentally deleted a few mass storage blocks.
Deleted a few what?
Mass storage blocks.
Oops.
Like, rate them.
No, when I pick up paste from the mass storage blocks, sometimes when I place the storage blocks down, it doesn't update the world. And
Wait, they get deleted?
yep,
That's weird.
like
So
sometimes.
maybe it just needs a block update.
Yeah.
I restarted. That's why I restarted the.
And they're still gone?
And they were still gone. And
Oh,
I
that's
had
weird.
blocks in my inventory, so.
Oh, they're cheap enough.
Yeah, that's alright. I'm not too worried about some missing mass storage.
Oh, God damn it.
So this is off topic, but I got my solar panels installed yesterday.
Ooh, nice. You excited?
Kind of.
I would be.
I can't use them yet until the utility comes and swaps out the meter.
Ah, I see. Are you gonna make like an app for them? Do they have like a web interface that you can scrape from, or?
Yes, they do.
Do you know much about the local electric code in your area? Or
No,
do you
not
not feel qualified enough to handle live mains?
I do not feel qualified.
Ah!
Well, yeah, if you know what you're doing, you can set up most of it yourself.
Yeah, I was talking to the guys, and they
Oh.
said, we do this without shutting off the power, so they're just sitting, whatever they're
Oh
doing,
god, no.
Ooh.
hooking everything up, tapping into the mains without shutting off the
Just
power.
don't touch any spicy noodles.
Right. Make sure you're insulated from the ground.
It'll sure be a shocking evening.
Oh yeah, to say the least.
Okay, got the floor fixed over here.
Electricity is one
Hello.
of the things my dad would touch, and he's pretty handy.
I'm gonna say Cokes. Cokes skirtumas? Maybe I said that way wrong. I feel like I said that super wrong. Hello. I just saw your comment, actually. Nice of you to drop by.
What the? How did I miss that? Oh,
Close enough. Well, if it's close enough, if you're happy, then I'm happy.
So, Tadron, I was thinking that we like
Oh no. Oh.
encase the laser with glass, since we can send lasers through glass.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the cardinals, we can go off towards the corners. Like
Well,
maybe a laser or two before the end.
is it really that necessary to encase them in glass? Because we're gonna have to push back the cryo anyways.
Yeah. Well, is the cryo? What all does the cryo destroy? Did we even test any of that?
We didn't test any of that.
Does it destroy stuff?
Yes.
I'm not sure. I don't.
Ooh.
I saw that it will destroy things if it has to.
Oh.
So if I saw it punch through a crystal vein, but then after it had partly punched through it, it started to move around it.
Huh. So it'll start destroying it, but then if it's an obstacle, then it'll go around.
Yeah.
Huh. What are we doing in the cold caverns? I am building a cryo trench so that we can start to do the frozen factory stuff. I'm excited. I've never done it before, and I want to get through it. And also, this will help for my my recorded series too.
Yeah, last week we made a backup of the world and loaded all of the cryo spawners in just to see what it would do, and we saw that we positioned the trenches correctly, but the trenches need to be a bit wider.
Yeah, they weren't tall enough.
Yeah, Tadron, it didn't take hardly any time at all to dig out all this crystal. It was done before I realized it.
That's good.
6.
The research, however, took quite a while.
The research is all like saved and like ready to go, right?
Yep, I don't think there's a way to switch off it until it's finished now, so...
Yeah, there's not. And if you do, it'll reset your progress.
Oh.
Wait,
Fun.
if you can't restart it, how do you know if it restarts your progress?
I've looked it up.
I was wondering about, like, if you, destroyed the... Like, tore down the research assembler, or the research... the lab.
Something that you should never really do. Anyway. Right.
So I got one last thing I want to do in this world after we take out at least one of these cryo spawners. I want to place a nano disintegrator on the CPH. Just because.
Wait, you haven't done that yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh, I thought you did.
Does it destroy the CPH?
I don't know. I think we speculated this in a previous stream. I have no idea.
I want to say that DJ protected against that.
I mean, you want to.
There's some rather big flash warnings on them.
But did he?
I mean, it does say use with extreme caution. Let's see, what is the wording exactly?
Probably extreme.
Use with care. Use with
extreme care.
Extreme care.
Oof. Guess we better be careful, boys. If you don't give the pods for the reachers, it should stop. Oh, research. Yes, the research does stop. It can't continue. But they were asking, like, can you switch away from a research project once you start it? And the answer is no. Even if you tear down the laboratory, it'll reset your progress on that job. Ah. Okay, that should be 3 on this side.
I was also considering if we should build like little dams, segmented sections, like make the cryo work up to it and then punch through it.
Will that actually slow it down at all?
Maybe it would.
Yeah, it does.
Huh, okay.
So should we split the...
I mean, we could definitely put some walls down, yeah.
up into, like, quarters, thirds?
Well, what I saw Flexible Games do is he built walls along the trench and had openings that alternated between the left side and the right side. So that forces the cryoplasm to pathfind through the wall.
Make sure you give it like a little maze to go through so it's always got a path to travel. Kind of delay the puncture. Was that it?
Well, because it's reinforced, and because there is a path that it can take, it doesn't puncture through.
So I'm gonna let you guys build that because I have no clue what you're talking about.
Like, we can just use the reinforced concrete wall that we've been using.
Yeah.
That'll count as a reinforced block.
Yep.
Oh, no. There we go.
You know, I wouldn't have minded it digging out one from the roof instead of one from the floor.
Yeah, that would have been much better than
This
what we
is
got.
becoming rather tedious. Yeah, I'm sorry.
You're telling me. It's all right. Stuff happens.
To dig what from the what now?
He put the excavator on the wrong level, so it dug out the floor instead of the ceiling.
Well, I put it, I counted 10 blocks since it's 20. The bottom block to the roof, to the ceiling, is 20, and I put it on 10. I probably should have put it on 11.
You don't play the game, but it looks super relaxing. It's pretty relaxing, yeah. It's pretty fun. I'll show you some of the stuff that I like the most about it. Overall, it's a pretty fun game. If you like building things, basically this game is like a factory building game.
Automate everything.
Automate stuff. So like, if you've played any like modded Minecraft packs where you have to build like factory type stuff, this is like basically a game all about that. And it's not a mod, so there's not a bunch of like weird mod conflicts, stuff that doesn't make sense. Everything follows one direction. One artistic direction. Maybe one gameplay direction. So, if we're back up here at the surface now, I was super deep underground, and this is kind of like the coup de grace, the coup de grace, if you will, of how you want your factory. We're using a main bus, so we have lots of stuff over here. Whoa, what is this? Missile production over here. And then inside this building, we have component production. Do we need more rails, by the way?
I think we had all that finished up.
Okay. Because we got like 2, 4, 6. We got like 600 rails. Factorio plus Minecraft. I'd say from the videos that I've seen of Factorio, I'd say it's more accurate to just call it a 3D Factorio. Or like voxel-based Factorio. I still don't have Factorio, but I think that's something I do want to play on the channel eventually.
Yeah, Factorio's not bad. You can make like nuclear missiles for your spider bot.
I'm really interested to mess with like the drone stuff. Because those drones will auto build, right?
Yep.
And you guys know that
and just plop, 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 and they'll go out and do their stuff.
I loved using that mod for FortressCraft Evolved. Used up a lot of power, but it was really nice.
Yeah, it'll use a lot of power. You can set up an entire network for logistics drones, like supplying chests and building construction pods and whatnot.
That sounds awesome. What's the drawback, though? Are they, like, slower than belts? Less throughput or something?
It'll take some research and some upgrading to get them to the top tier and the highest speeds.
Oh, I see.
And they're pretty power intensive depending on what you're building.
Okay, so I've fixed 2 trenches so far. Are you guys down these other 2 trenches?
Yeah, I've done one.
I just done one of them.
Oh, you did?
Okay.
Wait, did we not build this trench? What?
Maybe I expanded.
There's
I'm just getting ready to go up another 3 on this one down
Ooh,
here.
there's no trench over here. Trench is gone.
Yeah, there was one where there wasn't a trench.
Oof.
Wait, what do you mean there was
We
one?
only had 3 trenches.
Wait, we did? I thought we had 4. Thought we did all 4 of them.
Well, that means we'll want to fix that.
We'll want to rebuild this one, that's for sure. One thing that I really like about this game over Minecraft is that you can do the build to me. That's way handy. Any kind of large building in Minecraft can be absolutely brutal. The corner trenches? No, we haven't started them. I wouldn't even know how to build one.
Maybe we just ignore the corners. We could do that.
I feel like...
So long as it doesn't start corners.
Like, why do we even build the trenches anyway? Doesn't that funnel the cryo straight to us?
It does, but the reason why is because then we can use the dazzlers to mop up enormous amounts of the it.
Oh, I see. So it's all about efficiency then, doing it this way.
Yeah. And so it's a lot easier to defend against the cryo if you only have to, clear out a 3x3 tunnel of it.
Yeah. Do you have to destroy all the cryo?
Not all of it, but...
I think you just have to destroy one spawner and then you'll get the recognition, the achievement or whatever for unlocking all the mutators. I believe that's the last of the mutators, Flatland.
How big is the trench? Is it 3 blocks across?
Yeah, 3x3.
3 by 3.
Yep, at the very base.
Yeah, the bottom of the trench is a 3x3 tunnel.
Okay.
Is it good enough for the sort of maze, or do I need to build walls around this?
Yeah, how big are we gonna do the maze segments?
I don't think we
16
should go too crazy.
blocks wide. Would that be too dense?
What I was going to do is I was going to build another wall, a wall for each of the laser transmitters.
So 64?
Yeah.
Okay.
The tricky part is getting to the spawners through all the cryo. Yeah, that pretty much sounds like it's going to be trouble for us.
Yeah, but this will make it so that the cryo's not going everywhere, and we can just focus our way down.
How much cryo do you even need to destroy? Do you even need to destroy cryo, or do you just have to blow up the spawner?
Well,
Does it even really matter if you...
Gas. Right now we're going to be stalling it out while we're doing research and prepping for... I don't think we've got the dazzlers even unlocked yet.
6.
Yeah, but we can't.
Oh, crap.
After we get everything started.
7.
That's why we prep.
Ah, did it again. 8.
Alright, so where are we missing trench? Is it this direction?
It's one of these directions, and I'm over here, like, trying to build it. I think that's... No, that's not. Let's go another 3.
What happened to the floor here? Why is there, like...
I told you. That was the excavator thing that Tide-Eye was talking about.
Yep. Let's
What were
see.
you trying to do with that? Oh, to wipe out this crystal?
Yep, all the crystal. Someone got to go through and check all the trenches, make sure all the holes are filled in, and widen them by 3 more levels.
Ah, crap. Okay. It's 2,
Okay.
3.
Oh,
There we go.
That is a deep hole. What have I done? Oh no. Arthur! Thank you, booster. Yes, good.
Napoleon said the only thing you need to do is kill the spawners.
Yeah, so technically I suppose we could just... One way you could cheese it is you could encase everything in reinforced concrete.
It will,
But it'll break
destroy
through eventually, right?
spawns. It will clear enough space to spawn.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it will start punching through.
Oof. Well, I don't think we want that.
Would be better than just random garbage like this cold cavern stone. So, yeah, right now I'm just trying to fill in the floor of this trench I was working on. Make sure the floor's filled in.
I don't really have a definite idea of how big this needs to be, so I just made it, like, pretty big.
Yeah, it's not like I was counting when I was placing blocks.
Oh, someone's here. It's Tadrian. Is this big enough?
This is where it should spawn, so yeah, this should be big enough. I don't think we need a back wall at all.
Well, won't it, like, slush out the back?
I don't believe so.
Like the liquid cryo?
It moves forward. I mean, it sort of spills out the back a little bit, but it's not like it's being pushed backwards.
It's going to be going in the direction of the C5.
Oh, okay.
Like the hive is going for the CPH.
For the corners, you can build a trench perpendicular from 2 of the cardinal directions. Oh, okay, I see.
What did he say?
He said, for the corners, you can build a trench perpendicular from from 2 of the cardinal directions. So then, essentially, the trench will funnel 2 spawners worth of cryo down it, right?
Huh, that's interesting. I would have thought, because I thought the way the cryo spawners worked is that they had the liquid cryo would fall into the trench, but the spindle, it has solid cryo that it would spawn spindle of.
Maybe it has, like, spawning rules.
So, Dread, how much paste do you have?
I have... Oh, wow. Okay. I have 2,000 left.
Yeah, I just chewed through 40,000 paste. I'm like, there's no way I'm out of paste. Wait, yep, I'm out of paste.
You absolutely were, though.
I've only got 10,000 left. Go through it very fast.
So paste is an issue. How do you make all your paste, Napoleon?
Quarry? We chewed through a coal vein for a while. That kind of slowed down the Hodor.
Oh, the Hodor. It was an interesting time running around picking up all of those research parts.
Yep, and we're probably going to want to process those pretty soon once we finally finish this research. Yeah, Tadron, I think I may have gotten a sneaky idea. Those auto excavators.
Here's what I built. It's a
Yeah,
trash thief. And
drop ore.
and the trash thief goes into 12 of the upgraded paste spawners, and then it's got 12 super heists. So you just stand in it, and it just gives you butt tons of paste. Provided you have butt tons of trash blocks. Which I do not.
It's once you run out of trash blocks.
Yeah.
But we have a secondary paste
storage. I may have just cleared that out and only got 4,000 paste out of it.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is it?
Oh boy.
It takes a long time to fill up.
What does
So,
it take to make a quarry?
This is the part where I go and super dig a mountain again.
That's pretty much what we need to do here.
Quarry. Oh, I think I've turned all of my sugar light crystals into lenses. No.
Well, you know, if we didn't have that mod that Tie-Dye was using and we had to dig out the blocks by hand, we would have had absolute tons of trash.
No, I'm pretty sure we would still be out of paste at this point.
You think?
Yeah.
Well, of course, we wouldn't be making it as large as the area that's been dug out.
It probably would have taken about this long to get to this point. It would have slowed us down if we were focused on. Well, you know, with upgraded with the Dapper Pack, the paste maker turns one block into 8 paste.
Yeah.
So you can turn one garbage block into
two blocks.
constructed blocks.
Yeah.
Let's see, what was I doing again? Here we go. Quarry. That damn crystal.
Yeah, this soft resin, I hate this stuff, and it looks ugly. I kind of want to super dig this mountain anyway, even if we didn't need the paste. Maybe I'll unleash Tie-Dye on it with a nuke.
Okay, correct.
Okay, Tie-Dye, the leash is off.
It's not like we need to worry about base threat. I can use as much power as I have available.
That's true.
Do we not have enough massive eyes? Is that why we have super light lenses everywhere?
I have 5 massive eyes.
I went a little crazy a few weeks back and
If we need them.
got a bunch of crystals, and I've just been using them everywhere. I've got almost 400 at least of each eye. Oops.
400 of each?
Yeah, I've got 398 of the purple.
Oh, wow.
730 of the blue.
I've got 200 blue and 200 green.
Yeah, we need the purple ones.
How are there no worms? I think the worms need a flat space to spawn. Do you guys know if that's a requirement?
That sounds right.
I don't think they necessarily spawn everywhere.
Only on soft resin.
Well, I mean, even on soft resin, I don't think they necessarily spawn everywhere.
I feel like they need a 3x3 face that's flat and soft resin to spawn. You guys know DJ loves his 3x3 things.
Yeah, he does.
By the way, I topped off the storage hopper full of Mark Vs, so if you guys need to take some, go ahead.
Oh, come on, I just need one sugar light crystal. Oh, wait. What is this? An unknown block?
Unknown block? What? No way.
Did you dig down?
Oh.
Agreed. Honestly, the tower defense part of the game is by far my least favorite. Yeah. Honestly, mine too. I wish you could just turn it off and never deal with the ugly soft resin. I mean, as it is now, yeah, it would be nice if you could just turn it off and not have to deal with it. I think what he really should have done is he should have probably spent a couple hours thinking about how it could be made better.
Should I just sit here and extract rubble from an ore block to get all of my items?
I think it's honestly actually way faster to super dig a mountain up.
What?
Oh, I think actually, I'm actually, if you can't do it forever.
What?
Yeah. So if you repeatedly right-click on an ore block, every time you get rubble out of it, you're actually making the block a little bit smaller.
Wait, are you just learning that?
I'm just learning that. I didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
Because I've never practiced any effort in utility.
Farming rubble. Turning it into paste.
I did it before years ago because I wanted to build like a larger base. And like back then the only thing you could build with was freaking like wood and like natural rock.
So, is anyone near the surface or capable of getting to the surface?
I'm on the surface. Do you need something?
Yeah, what was that research? That block I just scanned?
Oh, okay. Let me let me go research it.
Yeah.
Give me a sec. Oh yeah, that was a nice one. Tarzan time. Look at that, guys. All those blocks we just super dug, it goes away so fast. That seemed to be the case with both Chernobog and Cinder Prime. What was the case, Rohan? Also, something else to think about is there might not be any worms around here because of all these Mark III turrets we have around. The Mark III turrets might have just killed the worms.
Yo, well, you would still see the body.
Because I'm not very far away from where I was super digging on the mountain is not far from one of the corners where we have turrets. So it's got a value of 1 and it is dirt. We have scanned dirt.
Wow, we finally found dirt.
Finally got dirt. Have you guys noticed that dirt in this game is really weird? It doesn't stack properly? Or is that just because I'm playing on like a 6-year-old save file?
All of my dirt stacked.
Oh, maybe it's just because my save file is so old. I've gotten very used to macerating like dirt.
1 by 1 blocks.
Not 1 by 1. If I'm really unlucky, it's 1 by 1, but usually it'll go up to like 5 or 6 before it starts a new stack.
Well, I'm on a sugar-like crystal.
A tower defense game is the GE DJ wanted. And as much as I love his game, he wasn't ever really interested in letting people play it differently than he intended. You know, I kind of wish the modding scene was bigger for this game. That's part of the reason why I wanted to make a mod. Maybe try to help revive it and get people interested in making mods for it. Because he made this game in Unity. Like, I'm pretty sure we could edit just about any aspect of the game with a mod.
Except for things that aren't possible in Unity.
I wonder if we could change the, like, combat aspect of it.
Looks like there's a cave over here. My goodness, I am not seeing any crystals.
Can you grab the crystal scanner?
Should. Let's see. Oh, maybe I don't.
Get the crystal
What the
scanner.
heck?
And if you turn on the hollow base, it makes it really easy to see. Or actually, with the crystal scanner, I don't think you need it.
You know, honestly, I don't even know. I don't even know what I would change about it. Like, I guess I like games where you have to, like, actually fight enemies. But that's not really in the spirit of the game with, like, automation and factory building. I think lore-wise, this really is the best way for it to play. But I don't know. I've never been thrilled about the combat in the game. It's like, I know I'm sounding very beggars trying to be a chooser when I say I don't know what I want the combat to be, but I don't like what it is. But that's how I feel.
So I just found a thing.
Ooh, wow, 37. Nice.
Yeah, look at how deep I am.
Oh, how deep were you? Let's see. Negative 1,000. You're gonna have fun getting a laser down there. Oh no. Okay,
Finally
that's
found
fine.
my crystal. I can build a quarry.
you went to negative 1,000 to find a crystal. Damn.
Yeah, I told you I went crazy a few weeks ago. I actually found a good bit of them, so I'll save some this time.
Yeah. That'd be a good idea.
Oh no, I found sand.
No, not sand.
Is the crystal inside of the sand? That is the big question.
Well, the sand isn't glowing. Crystal was on top of the sand. I think this is world gen sand.
Yeah,
It didn't fall from anywhere.
FortressCraft Evolved is almost like a classic tower defense game.
Oh, nope, this one's hovering.
It's like, it reminds you of those old Flash games that were tower defense games where you could build your own towers, like freeform. Enemies just go straight to your HQ. That's what it reminds me of.
I found 9 crystals.
Wow, 9? Holy crap.
Well, they start coming pretty quick when you find a good cluster.
I wonder if the clusters start to get bigger the further you go down, too.
It could be very likely.
You got...
Now I need to be careful.
Your bachelor's was in comp sci, Napoleon? What are you doing now? Didn't you just say something about finals? Are you still in school?
Oh.
I don't even have a bachelor's degree. I'm kind of hoping that I'll come up with a good app idea one day, you know? And like, I'll make it, and then I can get like an honorary degree from like a college.
Could you process that scan for me?
I can.
I'm definitely kidding about that last part, although it would be nice.
10 research points. It did not show me what it was. It disappeared.
Super hard.
Yeah, mine did that too, but I just barely caught out that it was dirt.
It was super hard rock.
Interesting.
Whatever that is.
Can I stick a miner on it?
I don't know about you guys, but I fell on a pile of rocks when I was a kid, and it felt super hard to me.
No, that's just a bad pun.
You got Cert 4 in Info Technology. I don't know what Cert 4 is.
Certification 4.
Yeah, but like... doesn't really mean anything to me.
Certification for
entitled?
what company or what certification?
Rohan says Infotech.
That could be all sorts of fun
Is
things.
this company named Infotech, or is this like a college?
I think it's like a field.
Well,
Oh.
I mean,
Oh, now I need to be really careful.
let's see if I can Google it. Tech certification. You said Cert 4?
Yeah. He's Australian. I don't know if that matters.
Certificate for an Information Technology, ICT 4118, TAFE NSW. And it's a .au URL, so.
Well, there you go.
Nationally recognized certification equips you with the technical skills to work as a computer technician or systems administrator. Become an invaluable resource in any team and use your problem-solving skills to launch your career in this fast-paced industry.
Hey, that sounds nice.
Alright. Through theory and practical coursework, you will learn to identify and evaluate emerging technologies and practices. Provide a broad range of ICT support, address cybersecurity requirements, contribute to copyright ethics and privacy in an ICT environment, determine and confirm client business requirements, implement WHS environmental sustainability and anti-discrimination practices in a ICT workplace.
Wow.
And one more block to process.
Rohan, you don't have to answer if you don't want to, because it's your business, but with a cert like that, why do you work as a janitor? And a delivery driver.
Well, to me, it all sounds vague enough that it could be anything, really.
Yeah, but you know how companies are about degrees and certificates these days? I've heard a lot of stories from people that are programmers in the industry right now. They don't even have programming degrees. They just have degrees. And that's all that mattered.
Well, programming is one of those weird things where you can either get places by having a degree, or you can get places by having experience, or you can get places by having a portfolio, or you can get places by having some valuable certifications.
Right, there's a lot of ways.
Yeah, I have a coworker who he started getting his AWS certifications, and as soon as he passed his AWS some exams for various certifications, he started getting bombarded with job offers.
Oh wow.
That would pay him much more than he's being paid right now, but
yeah, because so many services run on cloud stuff now, like Netflix. That's all cloud.
It's a hot new thing.
So, Toro
Rapid
offers
scaling.
me free college. What should I do?
Go to college.
Well, it'll be like part-time online classes. What should
Hey.
I do?
It's free.
You mean what did you major in?
Oh.
It's free. What should I do?
Computer science.
Something.
For sure.
Well, computer science is something that you could do.
What do you guys think about physics?
Ooh, physics is interesting. I don't know how much money there is unless you're doing space stuff, but
Right.
Well, if he instead of physics, if you got a degree in mechanical engineering.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much any kind of engineering, even electrical engineering's big bucks.
Robotics.
Yeah,
Yep, robotics is a big thing with automation.
you could create our next overlords.
Yeah, I know someone that builds assembly lines for, like, the last factory I worked for. I think he was actually working on one that was like those little Ritz crackers packaging lines.
Like a Frito-Lay factory.
Maybe.
I think they make Ritz.
I would just recommend you to. I don't want to. Liberal arts degrees are going to be hit or miss. So there are certain liberal arts degrees where if you've got, if you're competent and you've got the right skill sets, that you can go far with a liberal arts degree. But like if you get like English or history or something like that, your job prospects are, well, I understand, awfully limited. I had a couple of friends from college. They were majoring in history, and then, well, there were no jobs for a history degree. And so they ended up doing completely different things. And you can still make good money. Like,
Yeah, but what are you gonna do with a like a degree like that? All you can really do is teach at a school.
well,
And like some people want to do that, of course, but
with history, you can also get a job working for museums.
Uh-oh.
oh, that's
I
true.
think-
Neil deGrasse Tyson, I think he has a history doctorate.
I appear to be stuck.
He also probably has physics education as well.
Oh
So
wait,
he is an
that might be
astrophysicist by trade.
that might be what I'm thinking about. Is actually a doctorate in physics.
Yep, I am stuck.
You could be the next NGT, tie-dye.
NGT Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah,
DTD.
yeah.
My brother got a degree in marriage, family, and home development, and he ended up working for Fidelity as a stock. And they just needed a warm body with a degree.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, so many places don't even care what kind of degree you have.
Yeah, so long as
It just
have,
you need a degree, and it's like fucking disgusting.
Well, so what that demonstrates.
Like, I don't have a bachelor's degree, so even today, there are some companies that I still couldn't work for despite having like almost 3 years as a programmer of experience.
isn't. You still need a few more years under your belt before you have the experience that would justify not having a degree.
I don't think so. I think
Personal opinion?
even by my second year, I think I'd already outpaced the value that I would have gained from a bachelor's degree. But I had some very intense learning that I did.
Yeah.
It's not like I was doing JavaScript on like a couple of elements here and there.
You have to remember, though, that the interviewer isn't you. So the interviewer doesn't know what sort of experience you got in that 2 years. So
Yeah.
they're going to be comparing you to everyday run-of-the-mill programmers, how far they advanced after 2 years.
That's true.
In my experience, 2 years is right about when most people start hitting their stride and start actually like understanding things.
I just know that I was doing stuff like by month 6 that I still hadn't done in the college classes that I had taken.
Oh yeah, that'll happen, of course. The real world is completely different from
So I'm like, why do I even, like, I'm sitting here doing these things and I'm like, why do I even need a degree then? It's like, they're not even going to teach me stuff that I really actually should know for the real world. Like, literally just need a piece of paper.
What a degree does is it teaches problem solving skills. The actual knowledge you learn is really not that useful. Well, I suppose in computer science, the advanced classes, operating systems, assembly language, hardware, and stuff like that, they teach you behind-the-scenes knowledge, which is useful. I have found it useful when I'm triaging problems that are very esoteric, very difficult to break down, that are like based off of the what am I wanting to say? Based off of like the fundamentals of how like operating systems work, how memory is allocated, and fundamental bits and pieces of the computer, like registers and virtual memory.
Yeah, I mean, that is one of the cooler classes that I had was my intro to operating systems. And we like actually learned how like schedulers work in the CPU and stuff.
Yeah. And so having that knowledge does give you an edge over other developers, especially when you start working with like more lower level things. Like if you ever have to look at C++ code, then knowing how an operating system works is very useful.
Yeah. And I actually...
That way you know, when you get a segmentation fault, you know what that actually means.
I actually did a C++ class too. So, I mean, that's not really an uncommon thing, because academia's at least 15 years behind at any given point.
Yeah. Well, most of what you learn in academia is computer science, not software engineering.
Yeah.
They're not teaching you about software development principles. They're teaching you how to write algorithms that Dijkstra invented 20 years ago, 20, 30 years ago.
Well, I'm not, just to be clear, I'm not arguing against the requirement of a degree. Because even though I don't have a bachelor's degree, I haven't had any trouble finding work. But we can both agree that it does show that you have a baseline knowledge of fundamentals. And not only that, it shows that you're able to stick with something for the duration that it needs to be done.
I don't want to say that it demonstrates a knowledge of the fundamentals. I want to say that it proves that you got through the classes, you knew how to study at least long enough to hold on to knowledge, long enough to make it to the exam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot
Okay.
of college graduates
I think pretty similar to that too. I think having the degree shows all these big companies that you're willing to integrate into a system and work and achieve and potentially be a positive team member.
Yeah.
Are you trying to get paste 2 dreaded?
I have a bunch of blocks I was gonna drop off.
I am
already
about
put some blocks.
the
It's
paste.
producing paste right now. I've got 30,000 now, so I can go down there.
But I mean, you guys have watched the Space Engineers stream, so I mean, I don't think anyone here would argue that I can't code. Experience is very valuable, in my opinion.
Oh, most definitely. Once you've got like 5 years of experience, that's like, in my opinion, that's the only thing that matters. Once you've been in the career, in the industry for 5 years, and who cares where you went to school? The only thing I care about is what sort of skills have you acquired? Have you been job hopping too much? Indicating that if you job hop too much, in my opinion, that's a red flag that you don't work well.
Yeah, and how often is too
Yeah,
often
what's too
changing
much?
jobs?
For me, too often would be, I don't know. If you can't hold on a job for more than 2 years.
And I've got plenty of examples where I've had a job for.
But
Well,
it
let's see, what was the shortest time I've had a job for? I think it was 9 months, but that was Subway.
Yeah, so it depends. I mean, well, first of all, I'm not going to care about Subway. Looking at somebody's resume. Okay, yeah, sure, yeah, you went to Subway in high school. If you were a fresh college graduate, yeah, I'd look at that to say, yes, you know how to work in a team, and you work with deadlines and under pressure and stuff like that.
Under pressure.
No, if you want to know about working under pressure, try assembly. What they, like my company, they say quality over quantity. Quantity will come with time, but then they just push. That's pressure.
Yeah.
Well, I
Oh,
mean, that's
your
what
station
Subway
They're-
runs 5 minutes, 30
I mean,
seconds. We want
I can understand
5
because they're also under a lot of pressure too, but I don't think you could really expect anyone to hit the ground running, something like that, unless they've worked in assembly before.
Well, even then, even if you worked in an assembly,
But even then, yeah, still would be a ramp up, I'm sure.
to learn what your task is.
They have
But
quotas
yeah.
that were probably set by somebody that's never even stepped foot in the factory and says, you guys need to produce this many. And like,
Well, so-and-so produced this many in this amount of time. Why
Yeah.
can't you?
this other factory that had the same employees for the past decade.
But when I'm looking at a
well,
resume,
tenure doesn't always say a whole lot either, because some employers will put up with.
I mean,
somebody slow with.
if you've been at a job for 10 years and you're not good at it, that's a problem for sure.
when I look at a resume, I want to see someone who's worked at the same job for 2 years. But if you're a contractor, for example, that's just not going to happen. And so
Yeah.
it's a very like gut instinct sort of thing.
I've never even seen a 24-month contract. I've seen 18. That's the longest I've seen.
Yeah, and so if you're doing contract work, then yeah, they're going to be moving from place to place, and that might be a reason why I might not look as favorably on a contractor as somebody who's put their time in at a single place.
That's particularly interesting for me because I'm at a place right now where I've gotten really good really fast, and I feel like my compensation rate is only just starting to approach my actual skill level.
I've worked for 6 years for 2 different companies. One being just general retail, like cashier at a gas station, and another being in a food type factory setting. And not a whole lot of advancement in retail, and you deal with people. But the food factory, I got to do a lot of things within that plant. I think there was only ever 2 things I never did inside the plant outside of an office job.
Even
And
when you
that
move
was
up in retail, you're still dealing with idiots.
each time I got a new position, I would learn what I was doing, all the OSHA compliances, we were working alongside food, so it was USDA matters, and everything's got to be spick and span, spotless in between every run. So you get operator, you get lead, you get general line experience, and then you start running machinery, and then they throw you on a forklift, and then you're running label machines and
Oh, wow.
all sorts of things.
A lot
loading
of
and
mobility.
unloading trucks. Yeah, so
And the
they really
forklift, you have to get certified for that, too. That's like a real skill,
not
driving a
necessarily.
forklift.
That was just certification through the company, and then being able to say, yeah, the company allowed me to operate their forklift and handle their product for 2.5, 3 years. They're like, oh, so he knows how to run this. He could probably pass the test if we throw it at him.
Right, exactly. I mean, it's transferable. You can always tell them, you know, I drove the forklift. I didn't play dominoes with the warehouse inventory.
Well, I did not go for a couple stacks of bacon.
Yeah, I watched that German forklift safety video.
I've seen those.
You ever seen all those posts on Reddit where they knock down the entire factory? I mean, warehouse? Like,
oh man, I cringe so bad.
oh my god. You can imagine, like, how many hundreds of thousands of dollars of product are, like, ruined.
No, I'm more worried about your personal safety.
Oh, yeah, and that too. But, I mean, those warehouses, they don't have, like, too many people in them, do they?
Typically it's fairly sparse, but
still, that's super dangerous
big
situation.
deal is, those racks aren't meant to move a lot. They're just meant to withstand
Yeah.
static load.
Yeah, notice how they always, like, crumble once they fall over.
Yeah.
You give them a little bit of movement and they're compromised.
Yeah, they're meant to hold things up, not to stay no lateral.
Class in machine language. That's really interesting. I would want to.
Yeah,
I would want to do that.
That might be something I would want to do. Well, there we go.
I think every software engineer should have to take a class in assembly. In fact, most CS degrees require you to take classes in assembly.
I actually do want to learn at least x86 assembly. I mentioned that on the Space Engineers stream on Wednesday, I think.
I would not recommend x86 because x86 is a complex instruction set.
Yeah.
Most of the instructions are pointless single instruction, multiple data things.
It's got a lot of instructions.
Slightly different ways. It's really best to learn it in some RISC language. So I learned it in Spark and something called LC3, which was an academic assembly language that was specifically for learning.
So they didn't have like actual CPUs? It was just like theoretical?
No, Spark is an actual CPU. We programmed on we had a Solaris lab where we had a bunch of Sun Microsystems workstations from like the 1990s or something like that, running Linux, and we would use those to practice our assembly skills.
I got to play around with Red Hat a little bit.
And in our hardware class, we built the CPU from scratch and wrote assembly language programs for that CPU that we.
Okay, that sounds good.
I mean, you built like a model of it in like some kind of electrical circuit modeling software.
Yeah, in a simulator. So yeah, the hardware was simulated, but we designed it from the very, not from the transistor level, but from the logic gate.
Got some half adders, strung them together.
Close. Yeah, we made the half adders, we made the full adders, we made the muxers. We implemented, designed the registers, and we built the RAM modules out of registers.
That stuff's super interesting too.
I mean, technically, the RAM was totally not realistic because designed the RAM as static RAM, not dynamic.
Oh.
And once, eventually, they gave us, okay, use this file for your RAM now because it's far too expensive to actually simulate all of RAM, and so we had a little cheat file that we used in place of RAM that skipped the simulation steps for it.
Okay.
Just download RAM.
This trench
Yeah,
was almost finished.
That was a ton of fun building your own computer.
Oh, I bet. That sounds like a ton of fun.
Wiring up the control lines yourself and plugging it into a simulator and watching the whole thing.
Oh man, I can't believe I just did that.
At the end of the class, you feed it a hangman game, and you play a hangman game in the simulator.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah, Ben Eater. Yeah, I've watched his stuff before. He's the one that made the world's worst graphics card, right?
I've seen that suggestion pop up, but I haven't watched it.
It's really cool.
And I hear that in some computer engineering classes, you actually do build an actual CPU for real, like with breadboards and stuff.
Oh man, that would be ridiculously complex. Making a CPU like with actual wires.
I would find that almost hilariously entertaining.
I would find that almost hilariously tedious.
Well,
I can see the tedium, but I would appreciate it.
I mean,
I can deal with
literally
tedium. I'm
building
into
a
it.
CPU. You're building the CPU parts, and then once you've built the parts, you say, okay, now you have this part, and you can then substitute the parts in instead of wiring each part individually.
Okay.
Because a simple CPU isn't really that complex.
Oh wow. You bought one of those kits? You're gonna sit on that for like I don't know, what age does your kid need to be, Napoleon, before you work on that? You're gonna sit on that for like a decade?
What did he buy?
He bought Ben Eater's kits to build like circuitry. Okay, I think we have all the trenches built now. We want to fire this up.
Did we want to build the mazes?
Yeah,
I don't know about the mazes because I built one of the walls and I'm like, well.
I'm gonna let you guys take the lead on that because I have no idea what this is supposed to look like.
I actually took a small tangent and got a quarry set up.
Oh, good. I'm sure we're gonna need more paste anyway.
Put a motorized conveyor on there with tubes, so it should be transporting 150 units a minute.
Are you sending that automatically to the
One of the
paste
hoppers.
grinder?
Yep.
Nice.
Oh, is that this thing over here that I see?
6 or 7.
Let's see.
Nice.
This looks like
That sounds like a lot of fun.
just to give you an idea of how simple these these educational CPUs can be. The CPU that
What
I
the?
designed could only
It was like 4-bit.
operations. No, it was 8 bits, but it only had two instructions. It
Add and
had-
subtract.
No, it had a compute instruction, and it had a move instruction. Those were the 2 instructions it had. And of course, the compute was actually okay. You know, you flip a bit to do different arithmetic operations, and so the compute could do add, subtract, and no, it couldn't do subtract. That's right, it couldn't do subtract because we implemented 2's complement arithmetic. So addition is subtraction. So it could do addition, it could do and, it could do or, and it could do not. That's it.
Still, though. I mean, with all of that...
Right down to it, that's like 5 instructions.
Yeah, but with all of that, you could build, like, a real CPU that... on, like, a breadboard.
Yeah,
Or even perf board or something. Some kind of board.
Yeah. And that's how it got it to run.
I miss playing with breadboards. I had an electronics class my senior year of high school. That was fun.
I think I've
Oh,
mentioned
yeah.
this before. I had an electronics class when I was a junior in high school. And, I was really bad at it, apparently. My circuits never worked.
18 TNT. What is TNT? I've never even seen that in.
Wait a minute. Wait
Where
a
are
minute.
you?
Have my...
I'm at the paste grinder, and I somehow picked up 18 TNT.
Why do you
Whatever
have
that
my
is.
TNT?
I don't know where I got it.
Yeah, that popped out from the quarry, and I thought I had that in mine.
TNT came out from the quarry?
Yeah, for some reason.
What?
I don't know.
Is there even a help file?
Probably not, because now it's just pulling up rough hewn rock. Does it do anything?
Oh, wow. This thing works fast, man.
Down over here, and it's probably going to pull up the entire work. We have to restart. Restart the entire series.
We could probably do this so much faster, though, if we did.
Can
I
we
placed
at
it
least...
down, and it does nothing.
Oh, damn.
Wait, let me take a look at it.
It doesn't even place down. It doesn't place down at all. I just
Oh.
place it down, and it just disappears from me.
Lame.
Oh, and I may have had a
That's odd.
small split with some of the plasma heads again.
This is weird.
What is?
The garbage thief says that it's taking blocks out of my inventory. But in my inventory, this block is like flashing on and off.
It's doing that for me too.
Nope, yep, now I have it. Rough hewn rock.
I'm not complaining.
Whoops. I see what I did.
Is this because of that thing?
Yep. Yep.
Oh, it's
I-
putting
Yep.
rough-hewn rock in our inventories.
Yep. Yep, let me just, yeah. Fix that.
I'm putting it into the heists. I see.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. Oops. My bad. Okay, so I was off by 2 blocks.
Not bad.
I am going to place another hopper there, and what should happen is it should share.
I was taught about the infamous off by 2. It's just a joke, Tatron. You know, because it's supposed to be off by 1.
Yes. Oh! You're off by 1 was that is clever. Too clever for me, apparently.
Okay.
That is so clever that if I told that to my coworkers, I'm not sure they would get it either.
Yeah, I crack myself up sometimes.
Alright, that's great. Alright, back down.
Alright, let's do this. Leroy Jenkins!
Alright, I'll show you where I'm talking about the base thing.
Yep, I'm just loading up on some boosters quick. I'm gonna want some light. Okay. Which one are we off at? Is it by the crystal clock lift?
So... Where are you, Dreaded?
I'm here.
Can we meet up at where the C5 is going to be?
Well...
Just come over here, Tie-Dye, by the crystal lift. The clock lift, I mean.
Doing with the,
Yeah, let's see what this maze looks like, and I can probably replicate it in another tunnel.
And so, what you do is, every once in a while you build one of these walls.
So it has to flow around.
So it has to flow around the wall.
And we were going to do that about every laser.
Yeah, and alternating left and right. And so
Okay.
now it has an opening on the right, and so then you come back over here, you know, maybe every 32 or 64 or something like that. You say, okay, now this one would be open on the left.
So I'll go ahead and make this one open on the right. Oops.
But so my question is like, okay, so if the wall is reaching the edges of these of the trenches, is that wide enough for it to decide that, yeah, I'm totally going to go for the other one?
So we should probably do the bottom 3x3 of the trench also.
The other what?
It's just gonna be under.
No, because anything that goes under is good, is it? Maybe you're right. I can't remember if the way the...
Do we want it to like build up and then spill over the side and then build up again and then spill over the opposite side and then just keep zigzagging back and slow it down that way?
Yes. We want the spindle to do that.
So if we leave the bottom open, that's just gonna leave an easier path. It'll probably take the path of least resistance. And then as we go through, we can just open up each chamber for the Dazzler as we push forward.
You're right, because the Dazzler only goes forward like 128 blocks in the first place.
Yep.
So, do we need a wall even this big? What if we just make a wall that kind of blocks off the lower portions of the trench, then? And it'll have to flow over it, right?
Well, because remember the way the cryo grows is it has a spindle.
Well, I don't really know. That's the problem.
It has a spindle.
Little tendril that'll come out.
The ceiling.
Yeah.
The ceiling of the trench is a spindle shoots out, and then it rains down liquid cryo. And the liquid cryo is the stuff that the trench catches. And so, what the walls are intended to do is to make it so that the spindle, which spawns the liquid cryo, has to go around and zigzag around these walls. So, what I'm wondering is maybe to around these walls here, so that it can't just spill off the side over here. So it's still constrained inside of the trench.
Yeah.
Do we need to build the trench all the way up to the ceiling when we do this?
Napoleon said the liquid acts a lot like sand, but once it totally fills a volume, it can start breaking blocks. So would it start breaking our trench open then?
If it had nowhere to go.
That's why it's going to zigzag. It'll build up and then spill over.
This is big enough, right? Is this the one that I made?
Could be. I'm now starting to...
I think this is the one that I made.
This one, I'm pretty certain I already did this one.
No, this one on the right side here is too tall now. It doesn't need to be that tall, but... Oh,
Can't break machines, but it can break blocks if you let it go forever. Well, I was kind of hoping we could get started tonight. You guys want to fire this thing up?
Let's get this one focused down, squared off, and then we can kind of block off the others. See how well that works out. See which way it starts pushing from.
I don't think we don't have to build this one up anymore. It would be better for us to build those perpendicular trenches to catch the corner ones. But
So at this last wall, then, should we pick an axis and then go perpendicular to it? Just tee off. I seen that you had a battery back in one spot. Let's see if I've got one. You know.
You won't get all the cryo with your trench, but the important part is you are keeping a path open for your dazzlers to push back towards the spawner. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's a good point, Napoleon. The trench is more offensive than defensive, I think.
that is true.
It's like, it seems like a defense, but really it's forcing the cryo to go a certain way, so that when you actually offend it, you can seriously offend it.
You will do our bidding, trench.
Did we build the other trench yet? The one that was missing? That's the important.
Yeah, I built that.
Alright, I think we are good enough. I actually kind of want tie-dye to back up the world first before we turn it on.
Let's do it.
So that if one of the corner ones starts is active, then we can restart.
Okay.
And make sure that we get one of the cardinal directions.
Well, this is probably a good place to make a backup anyway.
Should we quickly pick a corner and head out and place the blocks down?
For what?
Do you mean to like sort of get a trench started for them?
get an idea of where we're working.
I tried to. What we'd have to do is right where it spawns, we'd have to shoot lasers out.
Yeah, I'm at the back wall. I picked an access and I'm going in.
And then you would do that, shoot the lasers out from either direction, and where they intersect is around where the corner guy is.
Ah, okay, I see. I was like, how would you line that up?
And then we could build like the beginnings of a trench there. We don't have to build the entire trench, because that would be a gargantuan amount of work to do tonight.
Yeah.
We're already struggling with the pace situation.
I think we know kind of roughly where these spawners spawn, I guess.
We know that the corner ones spawn at the intersection of perpendiculars.
So they're created in like a square around the C5, not a circle.
Yep.
That makes things so much easier than it would have been.
I need more lasers.
The extra charm of a sandbox game where you build your own buildings.
I love sandbox games.
Yeah. Even this, what we're doing right now, this is more interesting than the bugs. And it's still tower defense.
Yep, different wave of enemies coming up.
Well,
Alright, I finally found a corner.
This one is interesting because you can control the cryo to a certain degree, whereas the other guys, the bugs, you can't control.
Yeah, the bugs control the environment until they don't have to do anything.
Alright, I am gonna quit out to desktop.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna quit. We're gonna make a backup, guys, and then I think we're gonna get this going. So, let's show you guys what I see. Let's chat. Let's chat until we're ready to get going again. What do you guys want to talk about?
Looking at the log last week, the server, all the ticking it was doing after we were offline. Like, there's a little bit of a delay before the server pauses, and there was a lot of cryo ticking all over the place. So once we do this, stuff becomes really active.
Oh. Wow.
So Tadrin's probably right. Back up, back up, back up.
Backup's good. Save scummer, Rohan says.
Yep.
He learned a new term this week. It's already using it in a sentence. It's pretty good comprehension there. Top side, it comes in waves, but the cryo comes in like it's like a constant tower defense. Yeah, I like that. It kind of it does make it more interesting, you know? I don't know what you would do. Maybe instead of like... Yeah, that could be an interesting mechanic for the surface, you know? Instead of... It's like wave after wave of bugs. Maybe like as your like I guess interaction level increases with the planet and you start making more power, mining more ores and stuff, that calculation will spawn like maybe more hive minds around you. And they're all like somewhat active. Not, you know, of course, not at all as active as like the active hive mind, but like they're all like somewhat active. What do you guys think of that?
Getting it to be more responsive to what you do so that it feels more like you're actually, like you have some sort of ability to manipulate it.
Give it more of a dynamic.
Yeah. Like what I would have liked to have seen is the ability for the bugs to actually attack your base besides your CPH. So if you go too out of control and crazy, they might start attacking your conveyors and stuff like that.
But what would they do? Like blow them up?
Yeah, blow them up, and your
Oh, wow.
conveyors would have health and stuff like that. And so you'd want to be like, oh, I want to, use, at the front lines, you'd want to, draw battle lines, and at the front lines, you want to use high HP machines with lots of armor and stuff like that.
That would be interesting. Yeah. Yeah, Napoleon, come on in, man. Do you have the ability to get in here on your own?
Napoleon may have been on already.
There he is.
Oh. Evening.
Hey.
Why don't I see you in the online list?
Right.
Are you not online?
I just turned my phone off, so maybe not.
Huh.
Oh no.
Oh, I can certainly hear you.
Did you hear what I was saying about that with the hive minds popping up around you instead of like the wasps? What do you think of that idea?
I think it's interesting. The hive mind, I feel like at the start they're really difficult to control, but then once you get it, it's a mechanic that you can utilize. Like building a hive mind farm is kind of interesting, as opposed to the wasp, which just get old.
Yeah. You guys saw my last episode, right?
Yeah.
The wasps don't do anything interesting as you make them angry. They just become more.
They just come more, yeah, and bigger.
And honestly, the thing I despise the most of the topside tower defense isn't even the wasps, though. It's the worms that come out.
Oh, the worms are so annoying.
And because there's no good hitbox. There's no feedback to let the player know if what they are doing is being effective. Really, the only thing you can really do is dig up all the soft resins so they no longer have a place to be.
Yeah.
I know the top level lasers will kill them, but you have no feedback. It's not like they have a health bar up there, you know?
Yeah, you're right, because I looked in the wiki for this and the health that they have actually scales. So it's like they're almost like a mini boss, They should have a health bar around somewhere.
Something to give the player some sort of feedback.
Yeah. Because if you're using like anything lower than a Mark III turret, it takes ages to kill them.
I honestly, what I gave up on that, and just my method of dealing with them is literally just dig out the soft resin, and then I close the game, reopen it, and now they die for lack of, like, the fish out of water.
Yeah, that's normally what I do too. This is Napoleon, guys, by the way, special guest.
Yeah.
Join the Discord. Join Discord. There's a link in the description.
I miss this game so much. I really do. I went through all the Frozen Factory stuff back years ago. This was like, what did it come out? 2016, I think, when Frozen Factory came out. Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. And I played through.
Longer than that.
What's that?
I want to say it was longer ago than that.
Well, the game's longer. I'm just talking about like the expansion. I don't remember exactly when it was, but yeah, me and my roommate at the time, we played this forever, and I play it myself when I get a moment, but those moments are definitely few and far between, with the whole military life.
Oh yeah, I bet.
It's nice to be on shore duty, just going to grad school for a while.
Yeah, how's that going?
Well, I don't know if you saw in chat or so I got a couple of days left. The finals for my first quarter here are next week, so it's weird. I'm almost 40 and I'm going through school again. It's different.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, I'm coming up on the big 4-0, and I always have these delusions of going back to school to get my master's or doctorate.
I honestly, I'm enjoying it more than I thought I would. I never loved school. I was more, as much as I enjoyed, the subject matter, I enjoy it while I'm there, but I hate doing useless work. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I do too.
And then being in the military for so long, I was definitely like, oh, what am I going to do?
Yeah, we're always under attack, Rohan, because
So
we have the, what's it called? We have the OET charge, so we're always under attack.
But I'm lucky because I'm going for a really interesting degree program, so.
Is the world back again, Tie-Dye?
Why can't I show your message? It's not, I keep clicking show, it's not showing. That's annoying. Do we know who Rene Descartes is? I'm sure I knew at some point. I don't remember. Who is that guy? Anybody?
Yeah, I got nothing.
Who?
Do we know any men named Rene?
No, I don't.
He was a mathematician.
Oh, wait, Descartes?
Descartes, yeah.
Oh yeah, I certainly recognize the name as a mathematician.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what he came up with, but I know he's a mathematician.
I don't remember why it was familiar.
I think therefore I am. I think therefore I am. Is he the guy who did that?
The only
I mean,
mathematician that
machine go Google.
yeah, the only mathematician that I have their contributions on hand in my memory is Newton for putting me through absolute hell for 3 semesters.
You would hate to hear this. My son is named Isaac after him.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if you were here. I don't remember if it was Monday or Wednesday, but I failed Calc 2 twice. I had to take it 3 times.
Believe it or not, I got a D in Calc 2 the first time, and I started the first time I went to college. I dropped out my 3rd semester and joined the Navy, and then it was like 10 years later I went back to college, finally got my bachelor, but I had to retake it all over again for Calc 2 because I had gotten a D.
I know that feeling.
Calc 2 is honestly it is the hardest
Mm-hmm.
the calculus classes. It's harder than Calc 3. Calc 3 is just
It's just
thing.
adding dimensions to it, but it's the exact same thing over and over.
Yeah, the only thing that really throws you for a loop is...
Oh god, it's coming.
Yeah, I'm scanning. Scan it while you can.
I'm at chrome and molybdenum. Just waiting for the ore.
Yep.
Did you already get the spawner? I wish the spawner didn't look like a blacked out hive mind.
Spindle has reached the wall. What will it do?
What will it do? Wouldn't it be funny if it just blasted straight through it? Oh look, it's actually going around. That is so weird.
So yeah, it's building up and it's trying to creep around here.
Oh my god, that's weird.
And it just creeped around right here. This is going so fast.
Look, this side's completely clear for now.
Yeah, it works for a while. It will overflow, but it's not going to be a big deal when it does.
It won't be a big deal?
No, because the whole, like I said before, the point of the trench is when you go on the offense, when eventually, after you've built up your frozen factory, you're going to want to go and attack the cryo spawners.
Yeah.
And
Oh, you
this
mean
is-
like when it overflows past this wall?
Yeah.
Not like when the whole trench fills up.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, the trench will fill up, and it will go over the sides a little bit, but
Oh,
it
God.
won't matter. No, but it won't matter because what the point of the trench is so that you can get to the spawner, not so that you can contain the cryo.
Oh, I see. So even if it overflows, that cryo's, for all intents and purposes, out of the way.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. The way you defend, I may have missed it, but you have a big wall. Just a straight vertical wall around your frozen factory, like the area where you're actually doing your factory work.
Yeah.
That's your defense against the cryo. The trench is the offense.
But it will bust through eventually, right? If you don't do anything.
If you don't
Yeah,
do anything, but that is
It's
a
wide.
lot of time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got dozens, if not. Yeah, I don't know exact. I don't know how long it would take, but it would be dozens and dozens and dozens of hours.
Okay, that's good. Well, all I know is now that we've started this, things are going to start going relatively quickly again.
Mm-hmm.
I know we've been kind of sitting around in the cold caverns without really doing much for a while.
Well, you gotta
But-
prepare it.
Things are going to be picking up
The
speed, I'm
thing about-
sure.
Yeah, the thing with that trench is even though you're not going to use it for a long time, if you waited until you were ready to use it, you wouldn't be able to build it because it'd be buried in cryo.
I see.
Well, on the other hand, if you clear out the entire arena like this, then you probably
No.
don't even really need
We've got a little
trench because you can just go around it.
Yeah, I guess you
That's a
could-
good point, too.
It'd be a long path, but yeah, you could do that.
Do you rebuild, like, certain automations down in the frozen factory or cold cavern?
I don't know about rebuild, but there are certain. I don't remember. It's been a couple years, but there are certain products that you can only build in the cold caverns. Part of the
Oh,
expansion. Yeah.
okay.
So you're gonna have a factory down there. There's stuff that you can only do in the cold caverns. That's part of the whole expansion.
We
You
get,
just started the expansion.
yeah, we get Freon from the cold caverns. We get sulfur from magma and
I'm-
chlorine from the toxic caverns.
I'm
Yeah,
looking
you
at
got-
one of these other spawners, and it's not even advancing at all.
The big thing is you're going to have a whole slew of new tech trains to build up through as you start dealing with liquids or is it gases or liquids? I can't remember, but yeah, it's gases. Okay, and dealing with all those as you start to just like you have the OET here. There's another massive final end product you build up to. It's the giant magma bore that gives you the energy you need and the heat you need to attack the spawners.
Oh.
Yeah, and I just died to magma tonight.
So should we attack the one that's active first, or should we just hold it off and attack the ones that are inactive first?
I'm not sure it makes much of a difference.
Okay.
I'm sure there is some difference, but I couldn't tell you what's tactically easier.
What I would probably do is I would attack the corners first while they're inactive,
Yeah.
because once
Well, this-
they
The second you attack them, they will no longer be inactive. They respond.
Oh, I see.
And
we'll have
and
something
I
to
don't
keep
even know if it's possible to kill a spawner until after you've built the giant magma bore.
I think I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch how Flexible handled the Frozen Factory.
My
'Cause the
movement has been paused.
it's lagging.
I have moved outside the loaded world.
Yep, that's how I died. Magma. Yep. There's a lot of ticking going on.
I think I'm gonna die.
Oh yeah, you're falling down a lift. Oh goodness.
I don't know why I did this, because don't we have a teleporter going down there?
Yeah, I'm standing right next to the teleporter. You might have to leave and rejoin.
That's annoying.
So, hey, I do have to run. My kid is out of the bath. The only reason I was able to jump on is because he was getting a bath real quick. But it's great to see you guys, and hopefully, I don't know, are you going to continue this through the holiday season, or is there going to be a pause?
Yeah, as far as I know, we're
I
still
should be
on.
available.
I'm just,
I might skip Christmas itself. But
yeah, I
Is
don't
that a
even know
Friday?
what day that falls
Yeah.
on. Oh, is it a
it's
Friday?
exactly 2 weeks from now because today's my birthday, and my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Nice.
We might.
I get the days between Christmas and New Year's off also, so we could move it around too.
Yeah, I might pause on that Friday and just skip that Friday, but
Maybe we could do it Christmas Eve. Maybe we could do it the day after or Sunday.
yeah. And I could try to get a video ready to keep the content rolling.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious because this will be, I basically got 2.5 weeks of freedom finally. So.
Oh,
it'll
nice.
be-
Oh no,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's that. If we skip it, then you wouldn't be able to join. Damn.
Well, it's just that's just one day. I mean, I can definitely probably do something next week. Is what I'm saying, because class will be over and I don't have to start off again until the first week of January. So
Sweet.
and I got the best deal in the world right now. I feel so lucky, man. I'm a military officer getting officer pay, and the only thing I do is go to school. So
Hey, there you go. Honestly, I couldn't tell you. My plans are always super short notice, so
okay.
I always write in the Discord as soon as I know. Shameless plug. It's in the description. Join it.
Yeah, we can all coordinate on Discord too.
Napoleon obviously has already joined it, as have Tie-Dye and Tadrin. So if you're not in the Discord, get in the Discord.
And then some.
And then some.
All right, guys. Well, I got to get out of here. Have a great day, and congrats on finally starting Frozen Factory.
Awesome. Thanks for stopping by, Napoleon.
Hey, no worries. Have a
Good to
day.
hear from you.
Yeah, for me, I don't know exactly what my holiday plans are going to be.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you either.
Normally I'd go visit my folks for like 2 weeks for Christmas, but I don't know what I'm going to be doing during COVID. I might still visit them, but not. I haven't decided if I'm going to risk it or not.
Yeah, what a crazy year we've had.
Probably not a good idea.
My sister's family all
you're-
came down with COVID.
Your parents have been stopping by your place pretty frequently, so it might be okay.
Yeah, we both more or less, we've both been quarantining although my parents have started volunteering at the temple again, which means technically they've been exposed to the public, but it shouldn't be any worse than when everyone's been going to the grocery store to get food and stuff.
Right. But the worst people are the people that don't wear masks.
Yeah.
I'll say it flat out.
That is the one thing when they say that, yeah, it's probably way safer at the temple because the church is very strict about the masks, and if you're not wearing a mask, you don't get into the temple.
It's basically the one thing anyone is asking you to do anymore. And if you won't do it, like, fuck you, you know? People aren't even asking you to stay inside anymore. The only thing they ask you to do is wear a mask.
Unless you're in Michigan.
Oh, well, I don't know about Michigan.
South Dakota's pretty lax too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
things are
Minnesota,
lax everywhere, but, like, people,
bombers.
we're still getting a record number of cases in our country.
Oh, it's gonna keep happening. We had one chance. To get this thing lit, and that was like back in February, and we missed the chance. What it was, I'm not gonna even blame Donald Trump for this, even though hate his guts.
We're past the time for blaming. We just got to get back on track now.
Well, the thing is, we're not going to get back on track until the vaccine are ready.
Oh, I've actually heard some good things about the vaccine. It's like 96% effective or something.
96% effective.
That's good. That's really
The
good.
Oxford vaccine is way easier to transport. Even that is very effective.
Just put it on some conveyor tubes.
Now, the difficult part is just the sheer number of vaccines that have to get produced.
I don't really want to be in
Yeah.
any of the few waves of vaccines. How long have they been doing trials? I don't think it's been long enough. It doesn't feel like it's been long enough to me. Who
Does
knows?
anyone know, like, infectious disease, like spread, vectors, mathematics, stuff like that?
And I'm still asking questions about what the reinfection rate is. How long does your body produce antibodies before you're potentially open to infection again?
So, for coronaviruses, it varies. I think for MERS and SARS, it was like a year or two that you have immunity.
But does it even matter anyway? People are starting to get polio again. We had almost eradicated it. Now people are getting it again.
We have people at our company that have been getting Rona like in less than 6 months. They've had it twice in the last year already.
Wow. I've only heard of like a handful of cases, so my understanding was that it was like, yeah, like only like a dozen people or something like that will get it twice, or maybe a couple hundred or something like that. But if you're saying like at your work that you've had several people at work get it multiple times, that's...
2 weeks ago, we started the week with almost 300 people out for Corona, and by the end of the week, that had almost doubled.
Oh yeah. Well, it's
we were shutting down lines for lack of manpower.
Yeah.
Polio is not back. It's not back, but it's coming back because people don't want to vaccinate their children, and we don't have herd immunity anymore.
And it's not like smallpox that we stamped out and kept, what, 2 samples? One in the US, one in Russia.
And nobody asked for my opinion, but I'm going to tell you anyway. In my opinion, I'd rather have an autistic kid than a dead kid.
And you know what?
By the way, vaccines don't give your children autism. Hold on. Vaccines do not give your children autism. But even if they did, you would rather have that than a dead child.
I've got some to chip in for that. You know, vaccines, they help us live longer and prevent much worse diseases and whatnot. So when your kid could be dying from all these other shit that you get, measles, mumps, rubella, that you get vaccinated against, you know what? Polio doesn't sound all that bad in comparison to some other really crippling things. Polio can be in cases. Measles can leave you, measles, mumps, and rubella can leave you scarred and disfigured for the remainder of your life.
Well, not only that, but it's showing, it was like an early warning system for people's complete lack of regard for anyone but themselves.
Yep.
Like,
so
that was an early warning system for the people that don't wear masks today. Because you got to remember, with vaccines, not everyone can take a vaccine. Some people can't take it because they're too weak to. They rely completely on herd immunity to not die of a disease that was almost eradicated 70 years ago, but now is coming back. They can't take the vaccine even if they wanted to because it would kill them.
I wouldn't necessarily kill them, but they have weakened immune systems.
Or they would get polio, like, for sure.
But we've got more people surviving from what are now minor things that we've got vaccines for. So, of course, all these cases of autism and whatnot that would have been overshadowed by all these other things. Of course, we're starting to notice them crop up when they've probably been there all along.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Rohan. That's exactly what I was just saying. Like, some people just can't take vaccines.
Yeah.
And
Well,
not only that, but the definition of autism has shifted radically, which is why we're seeing so many more cases in recent years.
Yeah, my nephew's on the spectrum.
When we were all kids, when us millennials were kids, it was ADHD. They didn't even know really what autism was, and so they just diagnosed everyone with ADHD and said, "Okay, here's some Ritalin. Have at it."
It's not like we have more autistic people now. It's like they always would have been autistic if we had the definition that we have today. We just didn't have that definition. It wasn't defined like that.
There it is.
People are not becoming more autistic. I'll just put that out there. It's not happening.
You feel awfully strongly about this topic, don't you?
Well, actually, you know, it might be happening now with, like, the screen age. People aren't really talking face-to-face anymore. Even us, like, we're not talking face-to-face. We've never met.
Right.
That doesn't make you autistic. Because there is a huge difference between somebody who's just antisocial, or is used to communicating in a different way, than somebody who's actually truly autistic.
Well, but given that we're not kids, we didn't grow up in the generation that's coming up right now. At some point in your life, you were forced to interact with real people.
Yeah, but I didn't like it.
You know what I mean? But, like, kids today, especially during this lockdown, you could grow up really looking at YouTube on a tablet more than talking to real people, aside from your parents. That is a conceivable reality.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you teach body language? Like, I learned it from, like, cartoons as a kid. It's not like something like my mom or my dad, like, sat down and taught me to, like, pay attention to body language. You know what I mean?
Body language is something that you would just learn just by interacting.
Yeah.
With your parents. Because
But
parents have body language.
that's one of the major markers of autism is, like, you miss these signs that other people clearly see. But to you, it's not clear. You don't understand it. You don't recognize it. Maybe you don't. It's not that you don't understand it, but you don't recognize it.
Yeah. Well, autism is more than just social dysfunction, though. It's like, so my nephew has autism or whatnot.
There are some other things, but that's the most recognizable marker for most people.
And so for him, everything needs to follow the expected pattern. Like he does not deal well with
routines. That's a huge thing.
Yeah, he needs a routine.
A routine for everything. Yeah.
With new stimuli.
Unknown situations, getting out of your comfort zone. Yeah, causes a lot of stress. And if you're not autistic, if you pay attention to how you feel when you go into an unknown situation, you're not comfortable. You're uncomfortable. It's a new situation. It's just that your response is not going to be the same.
So anyways, yeah.
So many gears.
When the thing about vaccines is, yes, there are some people with weakened immune systems who should not take vaccines. But unless you've got HIV, then you should probably be taking the vaccines.
Right, exactly. And really, it's because of those people that can't take the vaccine. You know, there's a certain level of immunity that a population needs to have before you have herd immunity. And that is the amount of people that you could reasonably come in contact with in a day are immune, so that even if you came into contact with somebody that wasn't, you know, that had the disease, it wouldn't be passed on and spread. Those people that can't take vaccines, they are directly protected by you taking a vaccine.
That's partially how they work.
Oh yeah, that is the only way that herd immunity can actually really happen. I mean, people were saying, "Oh, we can get herd immunity if everyone just gets infected." It's like, no, that's not how herd immunity works. Because
In
have this
in one situation, it could work that way, but that's mostly hypothetical, not practical.
I mean,
Because
you
the
can
thing
see
is,
it practically.
have babies.
You can
Those babies,
visualize it working practically, but for it to actually go into effect,
You can see the practical
see that happen.
application for it because we take flu shots every year. When was the last time you had the flu? Probably years ago, because everyone around you was immune. And you were
when I
immune.
didn't take,
What?
when I didn't take that 1 year, I didn't take the flu shot.
You got sick, really? Oh no.
The last time I had the flu shot, I got sick. I
And
have
that's-
not had the flu shot for 12 years and have not had the flu.
That's a good point too, because even though you're immune, you can still be a carrier. You can still technically be sick without like being physically impacted.
Yeah, and you can be an asymptomatic carrier, but that if you're an asymptomatic carrier, you're just asymptomatic.
You had the flu a few months ago, Rohan. Damn, man, I shouldn't laugh about that. That's glad you're okay. It can be really bad, actually. It can be really bad. And you think like, oh, it's just the flu, you know, it's nothing, it's the flu, it's a bad cold, but like people die from it.
It's just the deadliest endemic disease known to man.
Yeah.
The Spanish flu in the early 1900s lasted for 6 years. That was an epidemic.
That wiped
Yeah.
out, like,
People didn't wear their masks back then either. People protested about it.
Yeah, and people shared blankets with smallpox back then too, so...
what am I trying to do here? I am actually trying to get imbued machine blocks because we need that for basic crowd defense.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just ranting. I mean, we're at that point in the night, guys. We're basically done for tonight.
I've built 4 Mark IV inductions. I'm trying to get to an arc smelter. But...
This is the point of the stream where you get all those dreaded extras.
Yeah, when we start talking philosophy and stuff.
Yeah. And then that's a weird thing too. Why do people like to get so deep when they're tired? You know? Anybody a psychologist? Anybody with psychology like training? Why do we want to talk about such heavy things when we're tired? Like literally the worst time to talk about stuff like that.
I just had the basic classes. I don't know.
Yeah, me too.
And the funny thing is, I never paid much attention. I just played solitaire most of the time. I aced every task.
The intro classes are freaking boring anyway. It's like,
Yeah.
basically all they tell you is like, we know nothing about our brains. That's Psych 101, congratulations. That's $4,000 that you paid for that.
Yep.
I personally am not much of a fan of the soft sciences because psychologically, the psychology field has what is called a reproduction crisis, where a lot of their famous studies, have failed to be reproduced. 20 years later, a fresh set of eyes looks at it, and says, "I'm going to redo this study, and I'm going to try to reproduce this," and then they don't reproduce it.
Yeah, the results are different.
And then, yeah, the results are different, and so it's like, okay, so we have the famous one is like the marshmallow test.
Oh, how about kids can't delay gratification, right?
Yeah, if kids who delay gratification are more successful than kids who can't, and then they, 20 years later, we're going to take a look at this again, and then they couldn't reproduce it. And what they found is that what they were actually demonstrating was that kids from wealthy families do better than kids from. And then that's like, well, okay, yeah, well, duh.
Yeah.
You need a study to do that. And what it was is they say, okay, once we control for socioeconomic background, it's like, oh, and then delayed gratification means nothing once you're comparing apples. Another study that has lots of reproduction issues is the rat paradise study.
Oh, that's famous.
Yeah, the one where they said, we feed these rats heroin-laced drugs and stuff like heroin-laced water or something that to get them addicted on drugs, and then they found that, but if we give them in this paradise where they're able to be free and socialize with other rats and stuff like that, they reject the drugs. They actually don't want to get high.
We need 32 imbued.
Cases. It's only when they're trapped inside these cages that they want to get addicted to drugs.
Yeah, I remember that. Like, they said they put the rats in like just a cage with nothing in there, so they do drugs to get stimulated. But then like they put the rats in cages with other rats and toys and all that kind of stuff, and they don't do the drugs.
Imbued where? I have over 100.
In the lab.
Okay, for which one?
The middle one.
Basic cryo defense.
For which research? The
Basic
basic cryoplasm?
I think it's the middle one.
Yep.
Yeah, we've done some fucked up studies on animals. Frankly.
Well, we do that because it's more ethical to do them on animals than it is to do them on humans.
Do you guys know about the study where they made like a mouse paradise and they just let them live? And like eventually they got like overpopulated, they stopped breeding, they started having mental issues, they stopped eating, like, and their society basically just like collapsed, like purely from overpopulation.
Hey, there's mathematical models for that.
So you know about it.
Okay, I almost have enough material to make one arc furnace or upgrade. You need 2 Mark V for this. My goodness.
Yeah, we
Barely.
could definitely do more. Not do more. We could definitely be better for animals. Considering that we are animals.
What's going on with our copper wire?
We don't make enough of it.
I'm trying to figure out why I just got teleported to the toxic cavern for no reason.
The belt is completely empty. All the backup.
It's scary down here. I don't like being down here, man.
I actually don't see any copper.
Copper
on
moving. What happened to our copper?
Is our copper out?
I can't imagine so.
Yeah, I thought we had a pretty big vein on copper.
Yeah. It's just covered right now. It's powered by a solar panel with no access to the sun there.
Oh, oof. Huge oof.
Oh, did you build over it or something?
Oh no. Oh no. It was me.
You filled it in.
Well, I thought I left this block open for the sunlight. Did somebody put a block there afterwards?
Not sure. Okay, well, now I just need to...
It might have been me.
I haven't been taking any coils, just the wire. I still need iron gears. How far are they backed up?
I don't have any wire on me.
I did have a pretty clean inventory.
There's some wire in this crate. One. I have one wire I can supply.
I'm set on wire now. It's just iron gears to upgrade.
What did we need? We need an arc furnace, right? Maybe I can try to collect materials for that.
I'm
Oh,
almost there.
crap. That needs a crap load of wire, actually.
Yes, it does. It does. And lithium coils. Lots of lithium coils, too. I've been stealing them from Spiderbot.
Is Spiderbot automated on his coils?
Yes.
Okay, nice.
He's got like 400 or 500
All of the overlords.
backlog.
Well, I put my 1 copper wire in
But we do need
the storage
to-
hopper.
Lithium is kind of slow.
Huh. Yeah,
It's
you're
been a
right.
long time. Done so much crafting.
Oh, lithium is input deadlocked. Not deadlocked. Input locked.
You mean we're not smelting enough?
Yeah. We're not smelting fast enough
Right now.
because
Yeah.
the lithium factory has plenty of throughput, but we're not inputting enough material.
You know, and that's what I'm short on right now. Is the, you know,
Cutter heads moving here in the middle of our smelting.
I had a little. Wait, what? More on the smelting? Is it by 10?
It's not in the array. It's
Like just off to the side of 10? Yeah, I had another leakage. I don't know where it came from. And
I'll show you
that's
what a
like-
deadlock is. A deadlock is when things can't move because they're colliding with each other.
well, we can speed this up a tiny bit if we do this. Or if we upgrade these right here.
Wait a minute. Where? Oh, there it is.
Okay, that's a deadlock. Neither item can move to the other hopper because there's another item blocking its path.
It's like the philosopher's problem. Got a bunch of philosophers at a table. They can either think or they can eat, but they can't do both at the same time. There's 5 philosophers, but only 4 forks between them.
Uh-oh.
And so all of them try to grab the fork to their left at the same time. But because there's 5 of them, they can't all reach the fork at the same time. And so they have a deadlock because they can't access the same thing.
Well, too late, Rohan. I already demonstrated it.
I just had the thing where I accidentally teleported to the toxic caverns, and that's because I was bouncing around everywhere, and we have a regular teleporter that's pointed down there somewhere.
Oh.
I didn't see it until it was too late.
Let's break that.
I can't even remember where I was bouncing around.
I don't know where it is. That's what I was doing too. I was jumping around and then I got teleported.
To the CPH.
So what I was going to do, I was going to get some more induction.
Where the hell was I jumping around?
You look right now.
Oh, here it is. It's right here. Can we disable this? What if I just take the marker out of it? There we go. Yeah, no more teleport. Nice.
Oops, I did not mean to break that. My bad.
I'm gonna put it... I wish we could, like, put a name on that or something. It's okay. We have the advanced teleporter anyway.
Yeah.
Where's the heart machine? I need the...
It's down here. This little staircase over here. Underneath the advanced teleporter.
This guy right here. Here it is. I need... haven't conveyors in a long time.
All right, guys. I want to thank you so much for joining me tonight. We're at about that time. Make sure you guys hit that like button if you enjoy the stream. Coming here for your tri-weekly gaming fix, autism speculation, vaccine news. What else did we talk about? Rat experiments, well, marsupial experiments, class, and whatever else, whatever other random stuff we talk about here on the stream. Make sure you guys hit that red subscribe button somewhere. If you like to hear me stumbling through my sentences, because there's plenty of that, especially at the end of the stream. And I said it a few times, but in case you didn't hear it, come to Discord. There's a link in the description. I still don't have 1,000 subscribers, so that is my only life link to you guys, to let you know if I need to miss a stream, or if I need to start the stream late or something. So get in the Discord. That's where I drop all the information. Ask questions, I'm interactive, you know, all that good stuff. So I want to thank you guys one last time, and I will see you next time.